To create a drop-down menu for our list of countries, first of all, we need to create a new class. This new class will have a name of form. So create the form.php file inside of the classes folder. Now open a PHP tag and start the class form. Opening and closing curly brace. We're going to start with the function called public function get countries select, and we're going to pass the record equals null to it as parameter, because the same method will be used for basically amending the existing record. So we may pass the existing record, we may not. So we assign null by default. So now we have obj country equals new country. So we're using the country class. Countries variable equals, if we copy the name of our object, obj country, get countries method. So now we have the list of countries assigned to this countries variable. Now we check if is an empty countries, which is now an array. Then we start with the out variable, to which we pass the select tag, which we have here. So if we copy this one, obviously we need to escape double quotes, so backslashes, then semicolon right at the end. Then we check if empty record. So if we didn't pass any parameter through any value through the parameter, then we want to add out dot equals, because we're concatenating this with the previous out variable. And now we're going to put our first select one option of our drop-down menu. Again, we have to escape these double quotes here. So now we have our select one. Now for each countries as country. So we're creating a loop, and we go with our out dot equals. Then we have option value equals backslash double quote and double quote. Now we're going to be concatenating, so semicolon out dot equals, and we put our country ID here. Now we concatenate again, so out dot equals. If I scroll up a little bit so you can see a bit more. Now we concatenate this with the closing quote, double quote, then closing bracket, and then we have double quote again, out dot equals. Now we need the name of the country, so country name, and out dot equals closing option tag. That's all fine. Now after our for each loop, we need to concatenate this with the closing select tag, and right at the end we simply return our out variable. Now that we have this method ready, if we save the file, go back to our checkout.php, scroll right to the top, and create a few new lines before our require ones header, and we're going to create a new object called object form equals new form. Now that we have our object created, we copy the name of the object, scroll down to our country drop-down menu. We can obviously remove all this. So we're gonna start with the opening PHP tag echo object form, and we obviously need to call our method. So it's best if we copy the name. We're not passing any parameter, so semicolon right at the end and closing PHP tag. Now if we save the file, go back to our page, refresh, and you can see we're getting some errors here. And now we're getting the error because we haven't got country.php class created yet. So if we go back to our editor and create a new class, new file called country.php. Sorry, country. Inside of this file, open in PHP tag, class country. Sorry, this one actually will extend because we need access to the database. Extend application, extends application. Okay, and we have public function get countries. And we start with our SQL statement equal select all from countries, order by name. I want to order this to be displayed in the ascending order, so A, C, S. Sorry, A, S, C. Okay, semicolon right at the end, then return this db fetch all, and we pass our SQL statement to it. Okay, if we go back to our browser now, refresh the page, as you can see, the countries have now populated and are displayed in our drop-down menu. Now, one thing, obviously, this drop-down menu doesn't have any border. So if we go back to our editor, go back to our form here, and we add the class, 2 backslashes, obviously, to make sure that we're escaping the double quotes, SEL to our select tag. So if we save the file, go back, refresh, now it all looks a bit better. So we've got all of our countries. Now everything's fine, except at the moment, if we select anything, click on the next button, the value goes back to select one rather than stay with the one which we've selected. So this is our sticky form fields section, which we'll be dealing with in the next video.